What people come back to time and again is the people, is the missing people, is the absence of people.
I don't have a body. I have no piece of him left.
This is a major point in history that must be documented for posterity.
Ground Zero, a 16-acre graveyard where some 3,000 people from 80 nationalities perished. Over 1 million tons of debris, ash and twisted metal are all that remains of what was Manhattan's defining landmark, the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center. The recovery workers call it the pile. They move an amazing 20 tons of it every 3 minutes. Among the workers, one man whose job it is to photograph this horror, to document the recovery of Ground Zero for posterity.
I'm doing it for history. I felt that if there was no photographic record allowed, that it was history erased.
I had to understand that I was going to have to just be there as a witness and photograph it for what it was without trying to put on it some formal idea of how to photograph it. I was told how to photograph it by the thing itself.
Joel Meyerowitz is a native New Yorker. He's known internationally for his American landscapes, most famously his seascapes of Cape Cod. But since late September, he's been working for the mayor of New York, for the city's museum. He's the only man with a photographer's pass, allowing him access to the Ground Zero site.
I call it the Forbidden City.
Hello. Morning. How you doing? Okay.
It's like an amputated area. This is gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous today. It's a hard thing to say when you're dealing with all this destruction, but it is gorgeous.
When Meyerowitz started photographing the site only 10 days after the tower's collapse, the rescue workers were still trying to build a road which would enable their heavy machinery to reach the pile. Even then, New York's firefighters were clinging to a desperate hope that survivors could be found.
But in the beginning, we were looking for live people. The first week or so, there was a lot of different holes, a lot of different voices. People were doing unbelievable things to get in there. Yeah. And you know, I mean, they went beyond the call of duty. Some of these guys going in there, the dogs, hoping to find somebody.
The place was divided into sectors, and 4 major demolition construction companies each took a sector, and they slowly went at each of these sectors, removing from the top down. But they had to do it the way you do pickup sticks. They had to put men on top and lift up beam after beam, pulling pieces out that way. There must be 100 guys who were doing the burning. On the first few days when I was there, they couldn't cut through the beams with what they had. They had to bring in special torches. One grappler picks up something, moves it over here. This guy takes it, moves it over there. He takes it, puts it in the truck. They're working in this unit together, like great dinosaurs. Always water pouring, always fires raging, smoke billowing. The fuel that rushed down through all the shafts fell to the bottom. Then the building fell on it. And the compression kept the fuel burning without oxygen, I guess. And every time air reaches it now, it explodes into smoke. But the temperature runs, 1,500 degrees down in the piles. It's quite hot on top. Boots are melted all the time. It's hellish.
Outside the gates of the Forbidden City where Meyerowitz works, a different photographic memorial is taking place. Ground Zero is fast becoming the most photographed part of New York. Meyerowitz's task is onerous. His work must satisfy the need for remembrance amongst those New Yorkers who grieve, those traumatized by watching the towers fall, those whose jobs collapsed with the towers, and even those who've simply lost a beloved landmark.
It was amazing how quickly some books were published within 1 week of the disaster of people who had been photographing the World Trade Center. Within a week there were like volumes being printed, and that's New York being New York. Yeah, it's take every opportunity. And I'm not making a judgment on that. I mean, there are people who want these books, who want to remember the World Trade Center.
Lucien Samaha worked as a disc jockey at Mundo 107, a nightclub at the very top of the Trade Center. He was due to work there on September the 12th.
It was beautiful. It was all these eras come together, and it was sparkling at night. There were times fog would come through. You can't see much. You saw fog, and then it would dissipate a little bit. You'd see the lights flickering. You'd see cars going by. It was very happy times, yeah, very happy times. It was unique. It was really windows on the world. You were looking out and you saw the world. You saw Manhattan.